Alright guys, this is Tim with Outdoors for Adventure. I want to talk to you just a minute about this SaluSpa Miami. We've had this going on 3 years, and if you have muscle and back issues like I do, one of these are great to have. But let me talk to you about the problems I've had over the last 3 years. Okay, the first issue I had was with the pump. It just quit pumping water. And I tore it apart. You had to take the bottom off, and then there's some screws that hold just half on here. You take them out, and then this separates. And then, of course, you have to disconnect it from the tub and work those hoses out of the case so you can get to the pump, which is that bottom one down there. And there's some screws that hold the cover on. You will have to loosen a clamp to pull the pump out of a hose, and take the screws out, pop the cover off, and you'll see an impeller. And the problem with mine is the impeller was on the ceramic shaft, and that ceramic shaft broke, so it wouldn't spin anymore. So I got on Amazon, ordered a $15 kit, which includes 2 ceramic shafts, 1 stainless shaft, 2 of the little ends, the little rubber ends that go on the hose that hold that shaft in there, and the impeller itself. So I replaced that, put it all back together. Oh, it also comes with the replacement gaskets. Put it all back together, and it ran fine. But when I replaced it, instead of using ceramic, I used stainless shaft. Well, we got a good year out of that one. I mean, this thing ran 24 hours a day for that year. And finally, the stainless shaft wore out again, and the little ends that it slipped into had also wallowed out. So it was creating pressure to where it wouldn't spin, thus not pumping again. So I ordered another kit because I misplaced my first ones. And this time I went ahead and put the ceramic shaft back in, and I replaced those little ends and the seals and put it back together, and we're going again. So that's twice on this pump. Now if you experience water getting in your walls, which happened to me, that's another issue. There was a little valve inserted right here. And what that does is the sun hits your tub, more pressure gets in the wall, and that allows that excess pressure to escape. Once it's so much pressure, it'll just come out that valve. And there's a plastic piece inside there that this material is glued to, and that seal comes loose, and my water level's low right now. Normally water's up here, and when it's bubbling, water's over this. But water would get in those cracks into the wall. And the same with the very bottom filter down there. If you look behind that piece, you can see a patch. So that piece behind the filter, you see a little holes in it, that's sitting on top of that patch, is the same type of thing that was up here. But I removed the screw and popped that out, and did just like I did up here. So I took this clear sealant adhesive, and I just caulked that hole plumb full after I removed that valve, and then I smeared it on the outside, and then I took a patch. After this set up a little bit, I put that patch on top of that sealant, and now I let that completely dry, and then I went over the whole thing again with more of this sealant, and it's been working just fine like this. So I did the bottom one down there and this one here, and so far no issues. And I just don't air it up real tight, that way when the sun hits it and expands, it's got room to expand, no issue. This is going on 3 years old, and I did notice some deterioration and some thread right here. So I just put some of that adhesive sealant across that thread area too. And I don't know if that would ever cause an issue or not. So over the 3-year period, we're going on 3 years, those are the issues I've had with this system. And of course, over time it's going to start showing some stains, but it still works. It's still going good. I'm fixing to take my little strainer here, it's what I use to dip out anything that gets in there. I'm going to put a little bit more water till it's to the bottom line. I've already got my chemical tab in that, and yeah, it's pretty much ready to go again. Now this is our second one of these, and the first one, I think we got 3 or 4 years out of it, and then all the electronics in this just messed up. So I just gave up on messing with it and we threw it away. But I did notice, and one thing I did, I had an old boat motor cover. And sun deteriorates these things. All that plastic and beating down on the electronic control board and stuff. So I got to where I cover it with that boat cover to keep the sun and water and rain, you know, the weather off of it. And other than propeller issues, I have had no issues with this pump. So knock on wood, hopefully we'll get a few more years out of it. I do feel like we've got our money out of this. The wife found this on sale for $300 some, and so far you're looking about $100 a year. And for the muscle relief and back pain relief that it helps me with, it's definitely paid for itself. But I just want to touch base, if y'all are thinking about getting one of these, you are going to have some issues, but the issues I just talked about are probably the majority of what people deal with, especially the propeller shaft in that motor down there. And you know, it's not hard to take it apart, get in there, get the $16 part, replace it, and you're good. And like I said, mine runs 24 hours a day, every day for, you know, each year. So $15 a year to fix that propeller shaft is not that big a deal. But it's been enjoyed. We like it, and I did just fix this one for this year with the propeller shaft, so we should be ready to go for another year. Hope this helps y'all out. If y'all thinking about getting one, I recommend them. I feel like they're worth the money, and eventually we are going to probably spend the $5,000–6,000 to get a real one. But for the money, this thing has already paid for itself. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you have any questions about it or anything, just put it in the comments, and if I can help you out, I will. Maybe the next time I do this, I'll record it so you'll know exactly what to do. But it's pretty straightforward. You know, you just take the case apart, you'll see the screws, work the mechanics out of it, and screw the pump out of the little hose. You're going to have a clamp that's actually pressure holds it. You got to break that loose. You might want to replace it with a screwdriver type Titan clamp instead of reusing it, and put that propeller in there and you're good to go again, you know, put together. But I'm just rambling on now. I just wanted to touch base if y'all have these, if you're having problems with it having an E2 code or not pushing water out of your pipe, top pipe right there, because it goes in the bottom through the filter and comes out this top one. If you're not getting water out there and your filter is not stopped up, then more than likely your impeller is messed up, or your impeller shaft. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Have a good day.